Good morning. Some of you write to me frequently asking how I cope with life experience when things are swirling a bit, a bit chaotic. And at the moment, things have been quite chaotic at home. My son had a routine checkup on his eye. He had a detached retina in June, and it was saved with a rather lengthy operation the following morning, and they inserted a oil bubble into the eye, and it was stitched into place. And he had that in, and he was having regular checkups, and it was all going really well. He could see, and everything was, great. He was at work because he's a manager in training, almost finished the managerial training course that he has been doing with the company at a cinema. And he went for a routine checkup 2 weeks ago to see how the bubble was getting on, and they decided it was time for the bubble to come out. So they took the bubble out, and pretty much straight away the retina began detaching again, and he went to have it checked, and they whipped him straight into surgery. But this time they've inserted a gas bubble, and to do the surgery, because he's got a genetic condition called Marfan syndrome as well, which causes massive complications in the eyes anyway. They froze the side of his face with liquid nitrogen, and when he came home from the operation, he sat in front of me, and I could see all these white patches like moving under his skin, and so it was like he was wearing a mask underneath the skin. It was really weird. So I knew deep down, that once the feeling came back, because it was all numbed, he couldn't move his face, once that feeling came back, he was going to be in absolute agony, because all the nerves would become active all at the same time. And of course that is what happened. And he was absolutely devastated, because he woke up from it all and couldn't see, and the whole of his face here, it swelled. It was big, and it looked horrific. And then it started to become silver. Now I already know that silver is not a good sign, because it's like nitrid gases building up under the skin, which have to be released somehow. So he's got this gas bubble in his eye, surgically in, and so he's got like spirit level vision, where it looks like he's looking for a spirit level. So he can't see. He's breaking things. He's in a very bad mood. He's been crying on and off. He can't go back to work, so that's really kicked him in the guts, because he was really looking forward to going back to work after having 2 weeks off. He's used up all his paid leave, so when he does go back, he would have lost wages as well. And it's just been chaos upon chaos at home. So how do I cope with chaos? One thing at a time is the answer. So not worrying about things that haven't happened yet, not taking on other people's pain or discomfort or problems or issues or projections, because this isn't my thing. I haven't had eye surgery. I know how to cook. I know how to create different combinations of ingredients to enhance the body at cellular level. That's my thing, and which I am using really well. So I'm looking after him and being a huge support by being fully present. And when he wants to sit with me and just be, that's what we're doing. And the rest of the time I'm focusing on planning ahead for food, like what am I making. So this morning it was a bit chaotic because where I live, it's an ELIS zone. So for those of you who don't know what that is, you can't drive down my road anymore unless you've got a permit, a residence permit. So deliveries, both drivers for delivering my organic food supplies today, both of them phoned me within seconds of each other saying there was a problem with the roads and they couldn't get round. So I had to wake up two of my sons to go to the corner of the road where the driver met them and handed them the bags, and then they had to do this like walking backwards and forwards like 50-60 yards, I think it is. They had to take turns to like walk backwards and forwards with the bags to make sure somebody didn't steal them. Because I am living in North London, you know, it's not, you could, if he put my shopping on the corner of the road, within like 30 seconds it would have been whipped away and gone. So yeah, so coping with things one thing at a time. And then yesterday I finished knitting my it's turned into a neck warmer, and I've bought some like duffel coat buttons for it because I've knitted buttonholes, which I'm quite proud of, and I've focused on doing this for myself during this chaotic time, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm so happy with it. There isn't hardly any mistakes at all because I really did take my time and not rush it through. So it will basically be around my neck, but it's got like duffel buttons, 4 duffel buttons, which I'm going to seam today, because I've got all these ends to sew in. But yeah, I'm actually really quite, you know, I do craft type things, creativity, to balance stuff out for myself. So during the chaotic time over the last 2 weeks, I've made this. Now what I love about this sort of thing is this didn't exist until I took, I can't reach. I took some, this is all that's left of the ball, which I'm going to use for seaming. But I took some string, basically. This is superwash merino, so it's natural as can be, really. I took some string, manipulated various loops using 2 sticks, and made this. Now this didn't exist before I created it, and it will be well loved. I'm still wearing neck pieces that I made 10 years ago or more. I absolutely love doing things like this because this is a physical thing. It's an actual tangible thing. And I went with like bobbles, like a bobble stitch, because it's actually quite hard for me to do, because you need to be able to see to do this stitch. I don't think I could do this stitch with my eyes closed. Like the edging, you can zone out. I can zone out, and this stitch, I don't need to look to do this. But this, I had to really concentrate. And so there were times when I picked it up and thought, oh, I just can't do it. But I ploughed through one stitch at a time. And I've ended up with this beautiful, soft neck piece that's going to be so beautiful to wear. And it's so tactile and textured. And like I said, it didn't exist before I created it. Now this is me channeling my residual energy into something beautiful, instead of taking on someone else's problem, making it my own, allowing my stomach to become all knotted, my head hurting, my hair falling out, because look, I'm growing my hair. It's quite long now, and the healthier I become, the more white it is as well, which is just amazing. Because I remember vividly when I was quite ill, my hair took on like this really hideous, like brassy tone that just wouldn't, the only way you could get it off was to cut it off. And it was basically like all the stress and all the trauma and everything coming out in my hair. And now my hair is like super, super healthy. And I'm absolutely delighted with it. This is me, like, not having touched it with a comb or anything today. Having washed it last night. But yeah, so coping with when things are swirling is knowing which part is mine and which part isn't mine. And that's pretty much how I do it. And for the rest of the time, I create stuff. So I create things in the kitchen. I surround myself with beautiful energies. And I'm absolutely going to love wearing this. I can't wait to finish it. Now I'm excited. And yesterday, the interesting thing yesterday was I was getting to the end and I realised, oh, how cool would it look to actually go around these buttonholes with a contrasting yarn, which I knew I had in my cupboard over there. But where my second oldest son and his partner moved in, like, to stay, and we cleared a space for them, all the stuff like ended up in boxes and bags in my room. And so then my daughter got married in between. I had all the wedding stuff piled up on my chair. There was stuff in front of my craft cupboard, which, it's in my space, and I created it because I love it, and to make it easier for myself. And then they've all like intruded, and I couldn't get out my contrasting yarn, so I started to gut the space, and I ended up completely gutting the space. Like, I mean, I did all four walls everywhere. There's not a single thing on the floor at all now, and the chair is completely free. I can sit there and knit next to a heater now. And my son Ivan came home from work and he said, wow, this is a real energy shift, isn't it? Like, and he got really excited. And that was a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful thing, because the air had become quite stagnant, where we've all been like bracing ourselves to see what mood my son's going to be in when he comes out of his cave, because he can't handle light. It's really hurting. Everything's hurting. So, and the pain is really dragging him down now. But that doesn't mean that it has to drag me down too, because it's not my pain. And I vividly do think back to when I was ill and they told me I had 100 days to live. It's coming up so the anniversary, December the 3rd will be the anniversary. 2015, 100 days to live, yeah. When they told me that, and I was really suffering mentally, physically, emotionally, in every way, I didn't want anyone else to use that as an excuse as to why they couldn't progress themselves. And so at the time, I saw it as a kind of detachment, like I detached myself from other people, because people were, oh, it's so sad, oh, it's, how are you going to cope with this, like, what are you going to do, and then there was the other side, the flip side of the coin, where I had like billions of people, like messages, like where people were telling me what to do, and then getting frustrated with me when their expectations weren't being met because I wasn't taking their advice. So I know from personal experience not to do those things, to just be fully present when there's something going on. And what will be. Everything is as it is supposed to be in every moment. So we're not in control of the moments. They unfold for us, and we must live within a level of acceptance, that's pretty much how I do it. Acceptance and no expectation. So I don't expect my son to magically just heal. There's work involved. And so, yeah, so one thing at a time, being creative to create balance, eating only the very best of ingredients in different combinations that is for your body, how your body will absorb and get the maximum goodness and energy out of the ingredients. That's how I do it, and not allowing other people's stuff to be my stuff. So that's a bit of Friday wisdom, completely inspired by my very, very good friend, a beautiful, beautiful woman called Laura. Hi, Laura. She loves it when I do a Helen vid, so here's a Friday Helen vid. Have a good day and weekend, everyone. Love you loads.